Hey there, thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 simple rules that I follow that help keep me feeling happy and my absolute best. So if you're interested in knowing what those 3 simple rules are, then just keep watching. And we go right into it. So these are simple rules that I've learned over the course of my life. Just because they're simple does not mean they are easy, and it doesn't mean that I always remember them. So in fact, particularly because they are simple, I find that I have to keep reminding myself of them more and more because they're relatively easy to forget as well. These are things that I've just learned that the more I internalize them and then the more I keep reminding myself of them and really knowing in the deep, dark bottom of my soul that they're true, the happier that I am. So rolling right into those rules, the very first one is, and I have to keep remembering this so much, the very first rule is, it's none of my business what other people think of me. Let me say that again. It's none of my business what other people think of me. And this is something that once more I have to keep reminding myself over and over again. So when I first heard this and felt this in my life, and I realized that it was true, is when I was living abroad and I was kind of struggling working to fit in with some of my other fellow foreign coworkers. And it maybe wasn't the easiest because they were very set in the way that they were doing things and they didn't necessarily want to welcome a newcomer to the bunch. It kind of made me feel like if you have a household with older pets and they're established in their ways, and then like a new pet comes, like say you get a new puppy and you've got a household full of older cats and the new puppy just wants to do everything, then I kind of felt like that new puppy and I was like, let's go here, let's do this. Yeah, and I feel like I was maybe a little bit, I had that puppy energy when I was starting. So I took their sort of energy as being very, at the time it was devastating because I just wanted to be part of this group and I felt like if I wasn't able to be part of this group that I wouldn't be able to survive in this new country. So I took it maybe a little bit deeper than I would have had I been in my home country. But it was a great lesson because it's still true. And I'll say it again. It's none of my business what other people think of me. And that's actually can be traced back to a 12-step slogan. But it's true all over the world in all situations, especially here on this channel, because there are always going to be people that think one thing or another about me, about you, about anything in general. The thing is, do those people pay your bills? No. Do those people walk in your shoes? No. Do those people have responsibilities to your family? No, they don't. So really, the only thing you should be paying attention to is your own thoughts about yourself and how your actions make you feel and what you can be doing better for yourself and the people that you love and are responsible to. So learning that when I was abroad really made me remember that while it's nice to have people that support you, there are always ways to stand up for yourself and to kind of make yourself be comfortable and accomplished in any situation, and you're not responsible or responsible to anyone. And sometimes even knowing what these people think about you can be a negative thing, because is it going to change what you're doing? Not necessarily. And can you do anything about it? Probably not. So that's all to say, if you can't control it, don't worry about it. And that's something else that I'm kind of, all of that gets lumped into that. It's none of my business what other people think of me. So that's probably my number one rule for ultimate happiness, is just not worrying about those things you can't control. So the second rule that I live by for happiness is slow and steady wins the race. One sec. So like the old nursery rhyme, Aesop's fable goes, the tortoise always beats the hare every time you read it. That's actually something that Dave Ramsey says a lot, which I do agree with. The tortoise always beats the hare, and slow and steady growth will always trump fast growth that fizzles out and then ends up not performing in the long term. So this is something also that I have to remind myself, and that's to pace myself for the long term, because I have a habit of kind of doing that as well. And I'm guilty of my hair syndrome also, of running too fast and then kind of running out of energy and then not finishing the races that I start. So in particularly, when it comes to investing, I've certainly seen that slow and steady wins the race, and in building up my overall wealth over time. I shared this before, but I do have, and I've had for maybe 2 years now, positive net worth, which is great because I didn't have that when I started out on my financial journey. And in fact, year over year, from January of last year to January of this year, I've increased my net worth by just about 26%. So that's a wonderful thing. The other thing is it's easier to double, or it's easier to increase your net worth when you're not worth very much to begin with, but we'll take those gains where we get them. And I'll continue to say that overall, slow and steady every single time wins the race. So that's in pretty much all areas of life. The third rule that I live by for happiness is patience above all. And this can be a tough one, especially where emotions are concerned. I was kind of interacting with a group, and a woman had shared kind of her own situation where something was happening for all of her closest friends and it wasn't happening for her. And I just spoke to my soul because I could hear that, and I can relate to that feeling as well, because there are so many times when I get caught up in my own situation and what's going on and what I wish were happening that I don't realize the blessings that I have so far. I can also remember a time when I too was in a situation where it felt like everyone around me was receiving the things that I wanted to receive the most, and there was just nothing on the horizon for me at all. In fact, it was like going the other way for me. And I just remember feeling so down and really having despair over that. And that's why, again, patience above all, because I knew in my heart of hearts that I was walking in the right direction, despite what it looked like. Like, it looked to the outside like I was maybe not going in the right direction, and some friends let me know that they didn't think I was going in the right direction, which was not helpful. No matter, I knew kind of the way that I was going, and I felt like I was seeing other people receiving the benefits of walking the way I wanted to walk, and rather than knowing in myself that patience was key and it was only a matter of time, for myself, I kind of let myself give way to bitterness and resentment, and I didn't participate in their happiness as much as I wished that I would have. But again, nothing I can do about it now. All I can say is for the future that patience really is key, and learning that all things come in good time. And just in general, patience is the most important thing. So that's something that I've learned, again, over a period of time, and that's a lesson that patience has taught me, but overall, remembering that leads to greater happiness. All right, so there you have it. Those are the 3 things that I have learned throughout my life that lead to happiness and that overall have led me to a place where I'm feeling better than I ever have before. So I thank you so much for watching this through, and if you have any questions, leave them down below. I love reading your comments. Also, let me know what rules you live by and what rules that you can remember that make you feel happy and in a better situation. So thanks as always again for watching, and I hope you'll keep watching.